Critic, I think I'm in love.
I know. You've been staring at it for hours. What am I gonna play? I thought sharing was your thing now. Well, yeah, I'm appreciating it. I know, the concept's a little of a work in progress with you. Fair point. Also, Jerry won't stop hogging that baby minigame for 1-2 Switch, and it's starting to freak me out a little bit.
Yeah! Stop crying! Stop it! Stop
I
it!
think it's too early to call the cops. Dude, you know that would just put both of us in prison, right? Yeah, true. Nothing therapy won't fix, right?
Yeah!
Man, remember when that thing was the NX and people used to make those crazy rumors about it? And we were left just wondering what the heck it was for over a year? Like, show that patent with the oval controller. Man, if that was the final product. Yeah, well, I just can't believe it's in her hands so soon.
No! No, why did you take my child?
So I guess the real question now is, what the future holds for this thing. Critic! How much do you think this is gonna sell? Oh, really? You really wanna know? Yeah? You wanna know what the heck I think about the Switch? Mm-hmm. My long, extended thoughts about what the heck is gonna happen? Yeah? Spit it out! Yeah, I have no idea. Wait, really? Like, yeah, I think it's a fun console, and I'm only worried about a few little things about it. You okay, bud? Yeah, I kind of expected you to be like, oh, it's gonna fail, or Nintendo's doomed for the millionth time, or something a critic would say. Balrog, I'm a critic. I'm not ignorant, okay? I think it's pretty cool. So can we at least do some good cop, bad cop? Yeah, sure. Why not? All right, let's do this, man. Yeah. Let's.
No! This was like one of the only things I'm good at!
Before we go into the pros and cons, no, I can't make that joke. It's too obvious. I just want to start off with how much I love the Switch. It's really a concept I could only see Nintendo go through with. Every single game feels like it's freaking tailor-made for this thing. Play games in whichever format you want, with the tablet or tabletop or grip. Co-op where you just split your controller and hand one to a friend. Taking a full console experience on the go to, well, you know. I know there's always that stigma of console launches practically being the beta test, but I don't freaking care. I'm having too much fun to even realize that. And by the time I start caring, there'll be tons of more features and games waiting for me. It's great. The Switch is great. This beta is great. But despite all this Zelda and Switch commotion, there's one question I've heard everywhere I go. One question that pretty much makes or breaks the verdict someone has on this console. Is the Switch going to do better than the Wii U? Now don't get me wrong, I really liked my Wii U, but saying it didn't reach its full potential is a major understatement. There was the wrong direction for marketing, the obscure system architecture making it a pain to develop for, third-party devs jumping ship, Nintendo themselves jumping ship with ports, and only selling marginally better than, well, Sega's post-Genesis consoles. They did what they could, but it was obvious they needed some big overhaul for the next system if they wanted to reach further than, let's be honest, mostly diehard fans. There were a few years where I loved the thing to death, despite all the game droughts, but I'd be lying if I say it wasn't sitting around for almost a year never being used. Rest in peace, buddy. As Animal Crossing said in a fortune cookie about the Wii U, great artists aren't always appreciated in their own time. So, what makes the Switch different, and why should anyone care about it in this 4K 60 FPS arms race? Let's go into detail why I think, yes, the Switch will be much more successful than the Wii U and take back the video game market share with it. First up is the big thing missing from Wii U, third-party support. Actually, wait, let me rephrase that. Good third-party support. Outside devs had big issues on Wii U because not only did they have no idea how to utilize the system in an enticing way, they just chose bad games for it. Man, I sure want to play Madden and Call of Duty with a tablet and touch controls and, Minecraft like a year after everyone else on consoles. Like, yeah, being able to play these away from the TV is awesome, but at the cost of an inferior port, and with next gen just coming out, it's no wonder they didn't sell well. Now the Switch is a whole other ballgame. Nintendo and Co knew you didn't care about playing Battlefield 1 on a 6-inch screen. The games chosen were done with the console's ecosystem in mind. Just pure fun. A focus on easygoing fun. Games that feel very Nintendo. There's indie titles out the wazoo, like over 100 in development before the console even launched. There's third-party titles like Disgaea 5, Bomberman R, Sonic Mania, and Street Fighter 2. Yeah, they want $40 for this when Street Fighter 5 is 20. Yeah. Good job, guys. And then they're gonna blame us when it sells like 5 copies. Okay. Yeah, we'll remember that one. But you get the idea. Cutting-edge graphics aren't the focus. It's all about the experience and how the Switch allows the user to cater this to their liking. And this here is the perfect jumping point for the rest of the video. Let's talk about the Switch's ecosystem. So Nintendo made a console that has its own feel that distances itself from its competitors in both the console, handheld, and even mobile gaming market, which I guess is not both, but yeah. Want to play a game with a friend? Just take a Joy-Con and put the strap. Want a party game on the big screen? Just plug it in the dock, which is barely bigger than the Switch. You can actually fit everything you need for this in a laptop bag. Someone else wants to use the TV? Take the tablet off and use tabletop mode somewhere else without missing a beat. Hell, even alone you got all these options, including a grip if you want a more traditional controller with the cute derpy doggy face look. This is by far one of the most flexible systems for playstyle, and games have either been enhanced or built around this ability. And that gets into a very important topic. Despite the hardware, games don't have to be built from the ground up for the Switch. Instead, there is a huge incentive to buy ports. Not only can you take essentially a full-blown port of a console game on the go anywhere, you can do so in whatever format that's most comfortable to you. So what if the hardware or port quality isn't on par with PS4 or Xbox One? You're playing this thing on a tiny screen, so even if the games are downgraded, you'll probably barely notice. And even on TV, you have this feeling knowing you can just take this with you whenever you want. So I feel like I'd care a lot less than, let's say, Wii U downgrades. At least for me, it gives a lot of incentive to buy it here than being glued to my couch, especially being a busy guy that isn't always home that much. It takes a certain game to feel like it'll fit on the Switch well. And with the choices, it seems like there's a lot more than I thought there would be. And unlike the Wii U, there's a gigantic library that'll be able to be accessed thanks to, my next big point, developing for the Switch. It seriously has all the tools needed in this day and age to port easily. Dev kits are only about $500, $200 more than the consumer Switch console. Most current gen engines are supported, like Unreal Engine 4 and Unity, which is actually used for Super Bomberman R. And Nintendo's been giving plenty of coverage for a lot of these games. To put it into perspective, there was an interview with Snake Pass creators Sumo Digital. You might know them from the Sonic racing games. And they said it only took 1 week to get their game playable. 1 week. That's unreal. You can bash the Switch all you want, but one thing you can't say is it doesn't have a killer lineup. And by the way, you should add Snake Pass to yours. It's this super cute puzzle platformer that has a snake and a little bird, and oh my god, it's so cute. And it's $20. Keep it on your radar. And to complement the easier development, the concept is much easier to understand for consumers and much easier for devs to utilize. Wii U had a streaming tablet. Like that's cool, but it's more supplementary, and on top of that, it's usually a GIMP version. But now, you can take these games on the go and enjoy them with friends instantly, which is a great selling point. And that's really the ace in the hole for the Switch, the big thing that'll make it reach new heights. The marketing. Now, it's not mind-blowing by any means, but it's a hell of a lot clearer than what the Wii U had. Is that noise triggering a response yet? It's become the big Switch staple, and it's definitely catching on, enough that the announcement trailer is the most viewed video on Nintendo's YouTube channel. The Super Bowl commercial's reception was really positive. The idea really stuck into people's heads. Retailers are saying the launch reception is super great, and launch sales in North America even beat the Wii by a little bit. To sum it up, the Switch is something that people want, it's easy to make games with, and its ideas give it a huge amount of potential. It truly feels like the middle ground of Nintendo's portable and console worlds. Yeah, okay, that's great and all. The Switch does have a lot of potential under its belt. And you know, it might not even sell as bad as the Wii U. But there is a lot of problems with it that need to be ironed out. So let's go over the critics list of things that should be improved. And first off is you have to buy. It's ridiculous. Let me show you. I swear, this thing is like the Spirit Airlines of video game consoles. Yeah, you know about those carry-on laws. Yeah, base price is $300 US, but you want a Pro controller? $70. You want a grip that can charge your controllers when the one in the box can't? $15. Want a game since it's not bundled with any? Up to $60. Want another pair of Joy-Cons? $80? Really? Want a carrying case and screen protector since this thing won't fit in your jean pocket? $30. Want a battery pack so you can play Breath of the Wild more than 3 hours? At least $20. Want a stand so the Switch doesn't topple over in bed? I didn't even open this. $15. And do you want a memory card since the Switch only has 32 gigs of internal space, 25 you can use? $40 for a 128 gig one. Look, all these things are optional, except, you know, the game. That's kind of important. But most gamers would want at least some of them. It just adds up very, very quickly, and while it's not much more than the competition was at launch, it's a hell of a lot to ask for the consumer to hunt down. People buying this are gonna have a lot of work and research ahead of them. And the work doesn't just stop at hardware. Next year, gamers are gonna have to pay $20 a year for online services. The reward is having access to a Netflix-style array of retro games that can all be played online. Which only has NES games at launch. Like Super Mario Bros. 3, where you just, take turns. Nice. I mean, this is a totally reasonable price, especially looking at the competition, and this will help get some online servers running well, but will there be enough incentive? And to add on to this incentive, we're also getting some voice chat app, and for Splatoon, it only allows you to talk to friends, unless you're in the lobby. I'm not always behind it myself, but I get why Nintendo limits voice chat since this is a family console. But if it's on an app with friends the majority of the time, why even bother making the app? If people want voice chat, they'll use Discord or TeamSpeak or something if they're gonna bother setting it up on their phone. Only time will tell, and though I am enjoying playing online at the moment, I've yet to see where the mileage will come from this app. Moving on from prices, let's talk about tech. The Switch runs at 720p portable, 1080p docked, which is great and all, but as Balrog said, they're releasing this right at the crossroad between 1080 and 4K tech. More and more consoles and hardware are adapting to 4K, so it feels like they may lag behind in a few years. I mean, come on, even major retailers are using the Switch to push 4K TVs. Look at that obviously 4K link. Hey man, it's Target. You saw the other circular, right? With the women's swimsuits? And then switch to the bottom corner? This brings up another interesting argument. Even though the Switch can handle some current gen games at the moment, will ports still be a viable thing when 4K gaming becomes the standard? Games like Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 are already struggling to keep a consistent frame rate. What happens when tech this demanding becomes more of a norm? And the Switch's battery is another testament to this. When a less demanding game runs on it, it's wonderful and can go for about 3DS levels of battery, if not longer. I've gotten over 8 hours with Shovel Knight. And don't even get me started on the sleep mode. This thing knocks it out of the park with over 2 weeks of sleep time. And on top of that, if it dies, it still saves your progress. But yeah, in more technically demanding games, playtime is usually 2.5 to 3 hours. It's still in the realm of practical right now, and about the same as a smartphone running 3D games, but it's pretty obvious that a larger battery will be needed as time goes on. And this brings me to my last worry point of the Switch, the launch woes we've been having. Now a lot of this can be fixed and happens with any piece of new hardware, but it's worth pointing out. There's a considerable amount of cheap bent Switch docks out there scratching screens, and I hear that even replacements have these issues. The Joy-Con's wireless signals are kind of on the weak side. Holding them on your side or in a different direction in your Switch, just a few feet away can cause issues, problems I did not have with the Wiimote and can be a pain if your Switch dock is far away from your TV. The kickstand is such a piece of shit. Like on a flat surface, it's completely fine if you don't touch it. But being on the side with the game card slot, my system always topples over when I click the power button, which is on the other side. And on top of that, the angle the kickstand has makes you have it several feet away from you when you use it, so it's not really even ideal. And like I said, there's the whole 32 gig flash memory thing. I understand this may be serviceable for some people, but Zelda alone takes up half of this. It's 2017, there should be a bundle with more. Oh yeah, and then there's the whole no backwards compatibility thing with the Wii U or 3DS or Virtual Console yet, so you're stuck with whatever's in stores or the Switch eShop. I guess they wanted a fresh start, which is fine, but it would have given people not interested in the lineup to have something to do while they wait for more titles. But even then, that's not really a deal breaker. Just buy the thing when it has something you want, I guess. Like I said, all these points I've mentioned are fixable, but it's a matter of how soon, and if they can actually get the thing in stock. So yeah, I think the Switch is awesome so far. In fact, I might dare say it's one of my favorite Nintendo consoles of all time. Yeah, I think the Switch is cool, and I am cautiously optimistic that it'll do much better than the Wii U. And probably the GameCube.
But I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think it's a great idea to have a portable home console. Yeah, well, I think it's an awkward middle ground that'll be much better whenever they redesign the darn thing. Let us know what you think in the comments. Yeah, what he said.
And how about you give your boy the Switch back? I want to be a dad.
You know what? Knock yourself out, Jerry. Enjoy my yellow Joy-Cons.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, B. I'll make you proud. Yeah.
Jerry, no, I swear if you drop it, hold it still. Hold it. Oh, no. Yo, Balrog here. I just want to say, my prediction for the Switch, 12 million units in its first year. If you come back to this video in 2018, then you can see how wrong the critic over there in the other room is. Yo, Balrog, I hear you over there. You're freaking crazy.
Hey, don't listen to him. I'm the professional here. Bodacious.